Hey everybody, welcome to school. That's right, cyber school on April 3rd, 2020. That's right, it's Friday, the third day of April, the year 2020. We are 2 days away from a holiday called Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday. And that's a day that is 1 week away from Easter. So Easter's coming up, y'all. We won't have school next week. We don't have school this week either, but officially it would be our Easter vacation starting after today. So today's Fun Friday. So we're going to do some reviewing. Okay, we still got to do the, talk about the people in the news. We're going to do a spotlight on the medical workers, people who are fighting the coronavirus. That's right. That's what we've been talking about all week. The coronavirus. We're still going to talk about that. And then we're going to read the first chapter of your book called Planning for the Future. That's right, about the girl named Keisha. So we're going to read that, do a read aloud. There's some materials on the Google Classroom that you can check out, all right, to go along with the lesson. And I'm going to post this as well. So let's get it started for April 3rd, 2020. That's right. Let's get the ball rolling. Welcome to class. All right. So a couple things we're going to talk about first are some current events. All right. So as I said, Passover is coming up. It's in a few days. What's Passover, Mr. D? Well, news to you. Here's our news to you article for today. Talking about Passover. And Passover is from April 8th through the 16th. All right. So the Jewish people celebrate Passover for 8 days. All right. So long ago, people of the Hebrew faith were slaves in Egypt. And then they escaped. Okay, and remember this important time in history. So people, they remember the time of the escape, and that's why they celebrate Passover. And the Jewish people eat a meal called Seder during Passover. Sidar, all right, S-E-D-E-R, all right. So Passover is from April 8th through the 16th. So that's coming up, y'all. That's the week before Easter. All right, the week before Easter. So that's what Passover is all about. And now here's a picture of some of the good food that they eat during Passover. It looks pretty yummy. Okay. So then a week after that, you guys are going to be out for Easter. So you guys are going to be off of school during all these holidays. You're already off of school anyway. So if we were at school, you would be out right now. So now that we talked about that, it's time to get down to business. That's right. We've been talking about the coronavirus all week. That's right. We had 4 vocabulary words relating to the coronavirus. They were the word world, because the world is the earth and everything on it, and the coronavirus is affecting the whole world right now. The other word was the coronavirus. It's a new illness that spreads quickly from person to person. That's right. That's our second vocabulary word that we've been working on this week. And the third word is spread. The virus has been spreading and affecting more and more people. So we want to stop the virus, which is our last vocabulary word. It's to cease, or to cause something to end. All right. It's to cause something to cease or end. All right. And we're still taking all the coronavirus protocols, washing our hands, trying to avoid touching our face, and staying 6 feet away from people, social distancing, and not going to large gatherings. That's all the stuff we're doing to fight the coronavirus. Okay. So as promised, we're going to talk about some people in the news. There's lots of people out there fighting the fight against the coronavirus. That's right. And today, on Fun Friday, we're going to focus on some of those peeps. All right? We're going to focus on some of those people. And here it is. Bang. Medical scientist. That's right. Medical scientist. I can't send this one through Google Classroom, but we're going to go over it right now. Okay. So medical scientists, there's a picture of them. All right. They're scientists. They're studying. They got their lab coats on. You guys know what scientists do. We've done lots of science experiments. We thought like a scientist before. All right. They make hypotheses. All right. They do experiments. They collect data. All right. And then they draw conclusions from their data. That's what scientists do. So this week's spotlight is on medical scientist, and it's by Tammy Steinberg. She's the author. It says it down there at the bottom. Tammy Steinberg. That's the person who wrote the article. So let's check it out. So medical scientists study illnesses. There they are. They're looking through their computers. They're looking through microscopes, and they're studying germs, y'all. They study germs that cause illnesses. That's right. They study germs that cause illnesses. There's a little petri dish. All right. And there's some germs in there. If you guys remember, we made our own germs a few months ago when we did an exercise, a science experiment on how germs spread. And we made our own germs by swabbing stuff around the classroom. You guys remember that? You guys made choices and you thought about what would be the dirtiest object after we did all the experiments and stuff. And we determined that my cell phone was the dirtiest thing around. That's right. That's right. So they study germs just like we did that day. All right. But they're studying specific germs that cause illnesses, y'all. They also study how the illnesses spread. See, there's a scientist. He's looking at all the data. He's got some spreadsheets there and some numbers, and he's trying to determine what's making the thing spread. Some illnesses spread all around the world, y'all. That's what this one's doing. That's the coronavirus. It's spreading around the world. China, Africa, England, you name it, Europe, United States, South America. It's there. It's everywhere except Antarctica, y'all. It's spreading wherever there's people. So medical scientists, they work to stop the spread. That's right. There's some doctors in the picture, and they're discussing options. They're discussing theories. They're discussing possible things that could work and help slow the thing down. Medical scientists may work in laboratories. That's like Dexter's laboratory. A laboratory is a place where you do science stuff. You do experiments. You collect data. And you do all kinds of things to help you learn about the germs that you are studying. That's right. So there's some scientists. They're studying labs. They got their gloves on because when you're handling germs, you got to have protective gear on. They got gloves on. All right. They got lab coats on covering all their body. They've got eyeglasses on covering their eyes. All right. They're not wearing masks. So the germs that they're working with must not be too deadly. They also do experiments. That's right. They do experiments. All right. Just like we do experiments, just like we did our experiments with our germs. We made our petri dish out of the Dixie cups. Then we put the broth in there and we let it cool. Then we swapped stuff and rubbed it around the Dixie cups, covered it, put it in a dark space for a few days. And every day we checked it and watched those germs grow. Remember that, y'all? That's right. So that was an experiment. And that's what they're doing. Experimenting with the germs. And that might be how this germ got out. They could have been doing some secret experiments and the thing got a little out of hand. But we don't know about that yet, students. Check out my conspiracy theory class on that one. Now, they use microscopes. Those are tools they use, and test tubes to look at and study the germs. So there's a microscope. And there's some test tubes. Those are devices and tools that medical examiners and professionals use to do their job. Medical scientists may create new medicines, and that's what we're hoping is going to happen. We're hoping that the medical scientists working on the coronavirus can create a cure to help people and stop people from dying, stop people from getting sick, y'all. The medicines can help people with illnesses. That's right. So the medicine that the medical professionals develop eventually will help the people that are sick. So hopefully they can develop something real soon. So if you want to be a medical scientist, guess what, y'all? You got to go to college. That's right. There's some college students in that picture. They're studying, all right? They're studying to learn about germs because that's what you got to do if you're going to be a medical examiner or professional. You got to go to school. You got to learn your craft. You got to learn your skills. You got to learn how to operate some of the equipment and use some of the devices that you might need for your job, just like we do. Medical scientists also help many people. And that's one of the good things, one of the rewarding things about the job is you get to help people. That's why it's always good to find a job that you could like to do, that's fun, that doesn't seem like work, and if possible, that helps people. All right, because then people will appreciate you. So the big question is, would you like to be a medical scientist? So that's a yes or no question. Parents, you can get a switch, a red or a green piece of paper, write yes or no on it, and ask your kid to choose, would you like to be a medical scientist? They can say yes, yeah, I'd love to be a medical scientist, or they can say, nah, it's not for me. Either way, as long as they respond, they're listening, you're talking to them, it's all good. So to review, what did we just talk about? Medical scientist. That's right. That's right. We just talked about medical scientists. All right. And a picture that relates to this story is the world. So the coronavirus is going down in the world. It's affecting the whole world. That's right. And the discussion question asks, what do scientists use microscopes for? They use them to look at germs and to see very small objects that cannot be seen with the human eye. Okay. And then another question is, what kind of medicine would you create and why? Well, right now, I would create some medicine to fix this coronavirus so we can all go back to school. We can all go back to CBI. They could have sports again. They could have concerts again. They could have gatherings again, NASCAR, you name it. That's what we want. I would like to create a medicine that will make everybody healthy and that will prevent them from getting sick in the future. Okay, so that does it for our spotlight on the medical examiner profession. All right, the medical scientist. All right, so now that we talked about the medical scientist, all right, as promised, all right, we are going to now shift our attention to our friend Keisha. That's right, so I'm going to do a read aloud real quick for this book that I want you to read to your kids. All right, I put it on the Google Teach, so you should have access to it. You can pull it up as an attachment. All right, and we're reading the first chapter of a book about our friend named Keisha. All right, so Keisha's planning for the future. All right, so that's what we're reading. A book called Planning for the Future. There's our friend Keisha. Setting a Goal, Building a Future by Molly Tittle. All right, so that's the name of the story. Not planning for the future, but building a future. Molly Till, that's the author. She's the one who wrote it. The illustrator, Katie Zolowski. All right, so she is the illustrator. The illustrator is the person who draws the illustrations for the story. That's their job. Okay, so this book is going to have 6 chapters, y'all. Chapter 1, planning for the future. Chapter 2, finding a job. Chapter 3, the right attitude for the job. So we'll be reading all these in the upcoming weeks. Chapter 4, what happened to my paycheck? That's one everybody wants to know. Number 5, insuring your things. That has to do with insurance, protecting your valuables. And the last one is keeping track of your money, y'all. Your scratch, your dinero, your budget. That's right. So those are the things that this book is dealing with. All right. So let's get right to it. Hi, everybody. Hey, Saul. Hey, George. Let's get this one. Hey, Saul. Hey, Jorge. Hey, Roberto. Hey, Shani. Hey, Lilia. Hey, everybody that's watching. Hey, Caillou. I hope you're there. Hope you're having a good time. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Lilia. Listen, I forget. Hey, Vitali. And let's see, anybody else? Master Caillou and Master Sin. That's right. I hope you guys are all doing well. All right, so we're going to start. Planning for the future. And don't forget Saul. Hey, Master Saul. Hope you're doing good too. All right, so here's our book. Planning for the future. Oh, yeah, I didn't forget the Gabbies. Hello, Gabby Moya. Hello, Gabby Castaneda. I love you guys. I miss you guys too. All right, so here we go. Planning for the future. There's the picture. You got Keisha and her 2 buddies. All right. And there's a sign over that says plans and goals, earn money, and get an apartment. So they're thinking about life after high school. I can tell that just by looking at the cover of the book. All right, they say don't judge a book by your cover, but you can make a guess about what might this book be about by looking at the cover. So sometimes you can make predictions before you read. So I'm trying to predict what this book's about. So when I read it, I'm going to see if my prediction is going to come true or not. All right. So is it going to be about these girls planning for the future just by looking at the cover? That's what I'm asking myself. So let's get started. In 1 year, Keisha will graduate from high school, y'all. What will she do? Will Keisha stay at home? Will Keisha go to school? Will Keisha get a job? Keisha can choose what she will do in the future. That's right. It's up to Keisha what her future beholds. Today, there's a meeting for Keisha. It's her planning meeting. She will decide what she wants to do after high school, y'all. There will be 6 people at the planning meeting. They will help her plan her future. So Keisha has meetings just like we have IEP meetings to plan your future. Keisha is having a meeting to plan her future for after high school. So Keisha's mother and teacher come to the planning meeting. They talk about what Keisha wants to do. Keisha does not know what she wants to do. 6 people in the meeting give her ideas. Keisha thinks about her brother and sister and what they did after high school. So she's got a brother and a sister. They were in high school. Now they're doing something else too. So who was at the meeting? There were 6 people at the meeting. All right. And what they were going to do? They were going to help Keisha plan for her future at the meeting, just like our IEP meetings. So Keisha's sister, Aaliyah, she graduated from high school already. Now she goes to college, y'all. She wants to be a teacher. Aaliyah lives in an apartment. And Keisha's brother, Tom, graduated from high school too. Tom got a job. He builds houses. That's his job. And Tom earns money at his job, y'all. That's right. So, what do Keisha and Ron do after they graduate, Keisha goes to college and Tom got a job. All right. So Keisha's teacher asked her, what are your goals after you graduate? A goal is something that you're trying to reach. Sometimes a goal is long term. Like where you want to live after school. Keisha thinks about her long-term goals. Keisha tells them her long-term goals. I want to get a job, she says. I want to live in my own apartment, she says. And she wants to earn her own money, she says. That's right. So she needs a plan to reach her goals. She will need an income for her plan to work. And income is money made by working. So income is what you get when you go to work. So Mr. D comes to work every day to help teach the kids. And I get some income for doing it. They don't just get that. I just don't do it for free. I would, but I need some money too to eat and to pay for some things, So we all need income. Your parents do, your brothers, your sisters do. All right. So income is money made by working, and she can earn money at a job just like everybody else does. So she'll need money to pay for an apartment. She'll need money to pay for food, to go out with her friends. That's right. So she wants to get a job and earn her own money. That's right. But what job will she do? So how will she earn money to get that apartment? That's what she's thinking about. So she doesn't know what job she can do. So Keisha's teacher tells her about job exploration. In job exploration, Keisha can learn about many jobs to do to make money. So Keisha will learn about jobs that she likes, like Mr. D loves teaching, and she'll learn jobs about jobs that she doesn't like. Oh, Mr. D hates doing dishes. That's right. And she'll learn about jobs that she can do well. Oh yeah, I like to play some sports. I can do that well. Teaching well, that's my thing. And she'll think about and she thinks job exploration is a good idea. So Keisha, she's going to learn about jobs that she doesn't like. She's going to learn about jobs that she likes. She's going to learn about things that she can do well. So she thinks job exploration is a good idea. So job exploration is a way you can kind of explore and figure out if you like what you're doing or not. I explored a lot of jobs in my 50 years, and this is the one I like the most. All right. So Keisha has good ideas. These ideas will go into Keisha's plan. There's Keisha. This plan will help Keisha reach her goals of earning money and living in an apartment. Her team will help her find a good job, and her team will help her plan for the future, just like your IEP team does, y'all. Your IEP team consists of your parents, your teacher, your speech professional, maybe your vision teacher, your nurse, all right, and the principal, and we all get together and we plan to help your future out. And that's what Keisha's doing. All right. So that was it. Her team's going to plan for the future. That's the end of chapter 1. All right. Read that, and then I'll post chapter 2 up next week, and we'll see what happens in chapter 2. All right. So that's it for this reading lesson of planning for the future, chapter 1. All right. Okay, so that's all done. So that should keep you busy for a while. And, go over that stuff with your kids. Read it a couple times. And then put on some videos, movies, documentaries, anything related to the world, the coronavirus, helping people, planning for the future, getting jobs, anything like that. Just, have some fun today with your kids. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. And I'll talk to you next week. Play some music today if you can, guys. I love you. Peace.